Good morning. Today I'm attempting to write 5K words of my sapphic, Asian-inspired epic fantasy novel. I'm currently at 85K words, so I have 2 chapters left in the story. I want to write 100K words total for this draft, which is draft 2. I'm basically drafting a lot of this from scratch for these last 2 chapters, which I'm really excited about. For context, I usually write 500 words a day if I'm lucky. So I thought that it would be fun to do this challenge to push myself to let go of my perfectionism and just write a lot more, which is, I think, 10 times the amount that I normally write a day. 500 words to 5,000. That is what the goal of today is. It's just write a lot and have a lot of fun. How would I describe this project? Well, it's a Hades Persephone inspired retelling. It's set in the afterlife and inspired by Chinese mythology and magic, particularly Taoist magic, but very loosely. It has found family, and my main 2 characters are a princess and her very notorious assassin turned bodyguard who have a star-crossed love that reincarnates them across multiple lifetimes. This is book 1 in what I plan to have as a 9-book series. So I'm intending to write 3 trilogies set within this world and with these characters. I also think it'd be kind of fun to write some short stories in between, like how R.F. Kuang had Naja's short story sort of in between the Dragon Republic and the Burning God. I thought that was so fun. I was maybe part of my favorite of the series. But so that is my plan with this series. And as a very late introduction to this video, hi, I'm Kaylee. I'm an aspiring but soon-to-be indie author. I am self-publishing my debut novel. It is a sapphic coming-of-age literary novel with themes of messy healing and dysfunctional family. It is set on suburban Long Island. It's about a creative writing college student who gets assaulted while she's studying abroad and has to fight for justice against her assaulter and overcome her trauma on her own terms. It's pretty short, but I love that story so much. It is the project that I've been working on for the last 5 years, and I am finally ready to share it with the world. Some comps I have for that are Speak, Know My Name, On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous, My Dark Vanessa, The Bell Jar, Perks of Being a Wallflower. And for those of you who want to tell me that those comps are too old or too big, that is one of the perks of being an indie author, is that I get to pick the comps that I want to use. And I don't need to play by trad pub rules. So those are the vibes with my debut literary novel. If that sounds like something that you would be interested in, then you can stick around, I hope, when I will be announcing more and opening up my ARC team soon, probably within the next month or so. So if you would like to be an early reader and get to read the entire manuscript for free in exchange for honest reviews, then please subscribe and let me know if that sounds like something you would like to do. Where I am in the story, so I already told you that I'm writing the last 2 chapters. So for my main character, who is the assassin turned bodyguard, this is basically the dark night of the soul for her, which is like the lowest of lows and all of her worst fears coming true. So while trying to rescue her little sister from very mysterious and powerful kidnappers, she ends up falling into the grasp of the man that still haunts her nightmares. He's like this super evil scientist type who used to, or still does, experiment on orphan children to aid his agenda in learning how to abuse dark magic without all of the negative consequences for himself. It's a really dark scene, and I am so excited to write this. I was looking forward to this all day yesterday. The last chapter that I wrote, which was chapter 7, so today I'm writing chapter 8, but chapter 7 was like a really feel good, super cute chapter where my main two characters finally got to have some romantic moments at the summer solstice festival. Yeah, so there was a lot of romantic development, and while I absolutely love my main two characters and writing them together and all those like cute sweet moments, I was also like just getting really excited for today when I get to go a lot deeper and explore my main character's past, like her backstory, and sort of like why she is the way she is, all of her fears. Yeah, I literally cannot wait. I don't have much drafted, or I don't have much outlined. I just know that this is where she gets imprisoned once again by the man that she's been hunting and trying to kill for most of this book, and she's now back in his clutches, and yeah, just seeing what she does about that. I'm just really excited. I'm really just gonna like let her lead the way, if that makes sense. But yeah, let's just get right into writing.
Your parents came in the cul-de-sac, leaned back in a leather-clad seat, pack of spirits in your Prada bag. Suburban summer 17 was a roller coaster ride, a manic pixie dream girl right beside me, and she said she liked me, but I bet it was a right thing lining up at the wrong time.
I just finished my first 25-minute sprint, and I was able to write 221 words. It's a little slower than I would need. So if I wanted to hit my target, I would need like 500 words for every 25-minute sprint. But it's okay because this is the first sprint of the day. I am starting a new chapter, so there's usually more that usually takes me longer to do as opposed to being already in scene when I can just build off of the momentum that I have already. But because I'm starting on a new blank page, I always feel like it takes more to warm up into writing when I have that. So 221 words is still great. I felt definitely a little like nervous starting, or not nervous. It was more like I was sort of judging myself as I was writing. I was like, oh my God, this is terrible, because usually I take a long time to think about how I want to enter a scene and begin. And I usually put a lot of thought into like the first paragraph, first line, to set the mood right, kind of like think about how I want the sequence of events to unfold. But this time, instead of thinking everything through so meticulously, I just put my hands down and just started dumping whatever came to mind. Like as I was doing it, I was like, oh, this doesn't sound very good. Like it doesn't sound up to par as the writing that I usually do. But reading it back, it's not as bad as I thought it was in the moment, which just goes to show you that you just got to do it. Like, I just have to stop holding myself back by setting these ridiculous standards for myself. And instead just let go of those expectations and just see where it goes. Because, yeah, I could have thought a lot more about how I wanted to do this, but I think that can be for tomorrow, or just whenever I decide to edit this. But yeah, this is going really well so far, and excited to do my second sprint, which is starting soon. So my first 2 sprints are now complete, and those 2 25-minute sprints got me 463 words. I'm getting along into the scene, and I just realized that I gave this villain one of the traits that I was going to use on a different antagonist. And he's just really strange. I somehow both managed to give them like missing eyes. They're also brothers. So I guess my brain works in very specific ways. And then I was like looking back, and I was like, oh, does that mean I need to change what I just wrote? Because originally he was only supposed to have a limp, but somehow I just had it where she took out his eye previously. I kind of like that he doesn't have an eye now, so I'm thinking that I'll just brainstorm something different for the second antagonist, and I can leave the missing eye and the limp with this antagonist. I'll see. I'll think about it and see what feels better. But it's already getting really good. Only 463 words in. So I'm going to take a short little break and then get right back into it. Cheers! I finished writing the first 1,000 words for this challenge. It is currently 1 p.m., so that did take a little longer than I had expected, but that's okay. I just hit 87K, which I'm gonna count as my 2K mark, just because, yeah, it is now 6:30, so I'm gonna celebrate the 2K mark by going out to dinner. It's 10:30 and I hit 87,501 words for today. That is like half of what I wanted to do for this challenge. And this morning I had set out to do that within 1 day, so by tonight. And I do feel like if I push myself, I probably could attempt to do the rest of this before midnight, but I do want to sleep, and I value my sleep. So I think I'm going to continue this challenge for tomorrow, but let me update you guys on how the actual writing is going, how the chapter is going, because a lot is going on. My main character is going through it. She's definitely reliving all of the trauma that she went through in her backstory. So this is like the first time we're getting to see more of her childhood and what she went through in order to basically survive as one of the top assassins and crime not crime lord, crime lady, crime person, I don't know. One of the top criminals in this world's underworld. And basically like how she gained all those skills and why she is the way she is. Honestly, writing it is a little heartbreaking for her. Yeah, I really do feel for her. I'm not gonna lie. And it's really crazy because I'm trying not to think too hard while I'm writing this, because I want to stop overthinking and just write. But while I was rereading some of like the older scenes that I wrote like a few weeks ago, I realized that some of the details matched up unintentionally, and I just think that's so cool. Like, I don't know how I maintained that continuity from weeks ago, but yeah, that was just a really cool moment. And yeah, there's gonna be some more realizations about my main character's past before I wrap up this scene, but this is crazy lore drop. But yeah, that is all for tonight. I got halfway through my goal for today, so I'm still really happy because this is like 2.5, okay, it's 2,350 words, but that is still 5 times the amount that I normally write in a day, or maybe even more. So I'm really happy with how it went. Even though I didn't get to finish the 5K in one day, I still am going to do that, and I'm still going to aim to see my manuscript hit 90K words tomorrow. So, good night. Good morning. It's 8:30 the next day, and I am so excited to hit 90K. I have my iced coffee, so let's just get right into writing. It's 11 a.m. and I just passed 88,000 words in this manuscript. That's 3K words of this 5K challenge down. To celebrate, well, I was going to do this anyway, but today is push day for the gym, so I'm actually really looking forward to that, to break up all of this writing. As like what's going on in the story right now, there's just a huge lore drop, like such important information about the stakes and the antagonist's motivations and goals was just revealed. And he is so, I hate him so much. He's so evil, but his reasons do make sense for like why he did and does what he does. But yeah, essentially the stakes have just risen by like 3 mountains. And I feel like it's gonna make the ending, like the last chapter, all that much more crazy. Because I already have that final scene, like the ending already written from draft 1. But it does need to be expanded a lot. But yeah, all the main points about like, you know, who's not gonna make it and all of these things I already have planned out. But just knowing all of this extra information that wasn't in draft 1 makes the impact of those losses, I think, more profound, because we understand that because of the things that are going to happen, it's basically going to put a lot more people and things at risk than we initially thought. So I am loving this scene. I still got maybe, I think when I hit around 500,000 words, or maybe even 89, that's when I'll be able to wrap up this scene specifically. I do have 2 other scenes. So I'm working on the first scene, and that's the like super dark one where my main character is confronting, not really, when she's having a chat with the antagonist. But I have 2 other scenes planned in this chapter that are not so intense and a little more cozy, happy, that'll follow this scene. So I think that will be probably like the last 1,000 words of this challenge. But yeah, let's go work out.
Watch your parents came in the cul-de-sac, leaned back in a leather-clad seat, pack of spirits in your Prada bag. Suburban summer 17 was a roller coaster ride, a manic pixie dream girl right beside me, and she said she liked me, but I bet it was a right thing lining up at the wrong time. And I think maybe if I'd held on tight, she'd still be sitting by my side. I'll never know, I'll never know. I don't like messing with regrets, but I doubt you ever leave my head. What could I have done, could I have said? I'll never know, I'll never know.
I just hit 89,000 words in my manuscripts, and that is 4,000 words done of this 5K challenge. It is like 7:30 p.m., but the vibes are so perfect right now. It literally just started thunderstorming, and I love writing to the sound of rain. So this is like the epitome of cozy. But I definitely want to take a little break to celebrate hitting 89K. That's the longest a manuscript that I've written has ever gotten to. I'm so close to the home stretch. Like, I can taste the success. I can taste victory. And it tastes good. So I'm going to take a little break to watch V's new vlog where she finishes writing her book, because I feel like that is the perfect energy that I need right now. I feel like watching her finish her book will motivate me to finish that last 1,000 words that I need to wrap up this challenge. And let me tell you, the last 1,000 words I just wrote, oh my god, so much just went down. Like, I was jaw dropped. And I was like explaining the scene out loud, and I realized how crazy it was and how sad the backstory actually is. So I'm wrapping that up right now. It's time for the final like emotional damage. It was literally like emotional damage one after the other. It's pretty bad, but I am loving it. This is like the longest scene in the entire book, where my main character is interacting with the antagonist, and we learn so much about both of them. I think it's fascinating. So, yeah. Writing to those, so I'm gonna find one on YouTube, write to that with like coffee, and we're gonna get into it for this. I finished. That was so much writing. 3K words. And so what is that? I don't even know. I guess that was 5.5K. over these last 2 days. I am so proud of the progress that was made in this manuscript and in this story. This was such a pivotal moment, and I'm so happy I got to capture all of this during this vlog. It was definitely the heaviest scene I ever had to write. Okay, that's not true. During this book, that was the heaviest scene. And I don't feel like I did the conclusion of that scene justice. So I want to go back and edit that some more tomorrow. But it's literally 11:57 right now. So I hauled ass to that finish line. But it went super well. And yeah, I'm about to knock out now and get some much needed rest. I do think that although this challenge was a success, because I wrote the 5K words, I didn't do it in one day like I originally intended, but I do want to recognize that there were several just life things I had to take care of both yesterday and today that took up a bunch of my time. So I wasn't able to write the full day both today and yesterday like I had wanted or planned to, but that is perfectly okay because those were things that needed to get taken care of. And I'm so glad that I did. Honestly, this is the most I've written recently, so I'm glad that I was able to push myself outside of my comfort zone and test my limits a little bit. I do want to be able to see if I could actually do 5K in one day whenever I have a proper day to fully commit to just writing, and not like how I had the last 2 days where I had to do a more balanced approach and prioritize other things. But this was such a fun vlog, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching this as much as I enjoyed making it. So I'll see you guys in the next one.